Let me turn to you with a different question. You look at sports integrity, and here in our attempts to save planet Earth and humanity, we are seeing a huge amount of greenwashing, despite a lot of regulations coming up all around the world. So there's regulation, there's incentives. The corporations are tying CEO comp with ESG markers. There's green finance and cheaper capital. There's ESG funds. But in all of these areas, there's rampant fraud and greenwashing. So somebody who looks at integrity in sports, what can you teach us and what can you share with the corporate world as to how do we address this issue of greenwashing?
Thank you for the question. It's very, very pertinent. I'm not here to teach anything. I'm here to share and to learn. And what I have learned is that if you talk about greenwashing, I could also talk about sports washing, because that exists a lot. But I think we have the duty to be honest with ourselves. We must look ourselves in the mirror and see where we are and where we want to be. Not in 30 years' time, like we seem to be doing by pushing and delaying all these agreements and all these treaties, like we could afford to wait 30, 40, 50 years to get into the right place and to reduce the carbon footprint. We cannot. We need to be better, we need to be more efficient, and we need to do it faster, because there is no alternative. We know where we are, our vulnerabilities in terms of the sports industry. Poor governance, lax attitude, lack of independent scrutiny, and a certain navel-gazing, a certain window dressing, and that seems to be common in all sectors. So what do we need to do? We need to exert our critical conscience. We, the people, are not here to be bystanders. We, the people, are here to take and assume responsibilities for our own affairs and ensure that those that we elect to run our companies, to run our businesses, to run our countries, deliver. Not grandiloquent speeches and perpetual promises, but tangible, real, cultural change. That is what we need to do. And this is why we have mobilized the whole industry, governments, sport, international organizations, civil society, global business, understanding that everyone has a share of responsibility and has a key role to play to create this united front. And we are getting there with patience, with perseverance, with resilience, overcoming bias, overcoming prejudice, overcoming territorial feelings. We are getting there, and there are great examples. I would like to point out Mastercard. Mastercard is one of our founding members. And we just traveled from New York, where jointly we organized a global summit on female leadership in sport. Now, you cannot talk about sustainable development goals without talking about equal opportunities for women and girls, for gender equity. And this is what we have done. We have shined the light, we have stimulated, we have asked those who have pierced the gender glass ceiling to tell their story, to incentivize others. And similar to what we have done in New York, with Mastercard at the top, a company that is investing, not because they are seeking visibility, they have enough, but because they are targeting and selecting and prioritizing values over interests, causes over just mere visibility. And that is a true leadership, true leading example that I would encourage other organizations to do the same. They are also saying that we are not here to be bystanders. This is our matter, this is our cause, we must give a step forward. Do as Mastercard is doing. What is so special or difficult about this?
It comes down to values and comes down to leadership intent. That's
exactly, yeah, but if you allow me just a brief note. Sure. What Milton Friedman was saying, and he was indeed the prophet, was about integrity. And it's time that we have a culture of integrity. It's time that we put integrity at the top of the agenda. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, we need leadership. We need governments to exert their leadership. We need companies to exert their leadership. And we need action from all of us. There was someone who said, my colleagues mentioned the word reputation. Indeed, reputation is today as precious, as vital as oil was in the 20th century. or profits were in the 1980s. Greed was good then. Greed is not good now. This is a moment for collective action, for solidarity, because we are all together in it.
Very good, excellent.